guys, we got this great clip from one of our long content videos. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Enjoy.
Why don't you dive a little bit deeper into that? Talk about this return on equity, because I think it's a really important thing that a lot of people like me don't look at, right? Yeah. So I did last year start to try to capitalize on some equity that I had. So I've sold some things with seller financing, but you put it in a different way with if I just held on to that property, what my return on equity is, and it can be really bad.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I didn't even think about it. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna hold these things forever.
Yeah.
And so my mentor was like, if you're not retiring tomorrow, like you're a young guy, like if you're gonna keep buying properties, then there's no point to keep this property, because what are you making a month? So I'm gonna kind of put it on house terms to make it the numbers more simple. So, but if you're making on a rental $300 a month,
yep,
and so that's $3,600 a year. But if you sold it, you make $150,000. Your return's like 3 or 0.3%.
It's really low. Yeah.
So like if you can take that 150K, go buy another asset, flip it, make more money, or buy another asset, own it free and clear, and make $1,000 a month, then that's $1,200 a year. Now you're making an 8% return instead of 0.3% return. And
you're still building equity on what you just bought, right? So you still equity is magical, and I love equity, and we like to have it grow. But another video that you put out there, you said if you're not selling in today's price, if you're not selling at today's price, you're buying at today's price, right? So that was eye-opening for me too. I mean, I own a lot of real estate, right? And we just went through this massive rise, and I did sell some, but I kind of listened to that video and I was like, man, I should have sold more.
I wish I sold more. I wish I refinanced more at those low rates. But that was another guy, Brett Tanner, who told me that at another mess. And he said that. I was like, oh man, like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, I would never buy this shithole property that I bought in Dade City, Florida, the middle of like nowhere, Florida. I never knew existed. I bought it for $50K, only putting $500 down. I bought it subject to 3 of them from this lady. And now, like 6 months ago, a year ago, they're now worth $150. I'm like, how's that possible?
She got $100,000 in equity, and you're making $250 or $300 a month. It's a no-brainer to sell them.
No-brainer. So I would never buy those at $150, but I would definitely sell them. So
this is so guys, if you're watching this, right, and let's say you're a landlord and you've owned stuff for a long time, think about these new terms that maybe you're learning, because certainly I'm learning, and I've been doing this for 25 years. But what's your return on equity, and then what would you pay for something that you've got? And if you wouldn't buy it in today's dollar, maybe you need to sell it, unless you're retired and you're happy to live on the income. But if you're still growing a business, you got to start monetizing that equity. The way that we did it was actually to take our equity and then to sell things with some seller financing. And we did that at the end of last year, because I thought that this year we were just going to have this real sharp decline. Yeah. And I've been wrong. I've been wrong for a few years. Like I thought during COVID that we were going to have a problem. Missed the boat on that. I took everything off of the market. This was smart though, and accidentally smart, because I was wrong. I took everything off of the market. I rented everything out, which was great. We got the cash flow, and then lo and behold, the equity just went freaking bananas during a time where I thought it was going to go the other way. So I'm not always right, but I'm always thinking about stuff and making moves. And last year, my move was at the end of the year, we sold with seller financing 4 or 5 assets and picked up a pretty nice chunk of revenue that we didn't have. So we're now making $30,000 a month on equity that we had. And this is money we've never had before, right? Like it's never been in my bank account. And I didn't really have to realize a capital gain. It's a really great way to capitalize. Yeah. Oh yeah, I buy on seller finance. I sell on seller financing. I love this tool. So I don't really want to give any more of my money to the government than I have to. And if you're selling something and you're going to have a capital gains because it's not your primary residence, think about selling it with seller financing, guys.
And you can always later in the future, when you create that note and that person's paying those payments each and every month, and it's proven in a seasoned note, you can, if you do need the capital, you can turn around and sell the note, later on in the future and take that equity.
Here's the really cool thing that I've done is that now I know, say Jerry Norton buys the looking glass from me on some seller finance. Yep. I know 3 years from now, I have a huge payday coming. Like I don't have to work three years from now. I can just take that year off because Jerry's going to give me a check that's big enough to cover the year, right? It's going to be phenomenal. And I know that a year from now, I've got a big payday on something else, another hotel that we sold here. And so we start to stack these things up. This is stuff I've never even dreamt of. This is all brand new to me. And I've been doing this a long time. But this seller financing stuff is amazing. So
Yeah, that's great. I like that. Setting that up like that. If you can do that, having balloon payments each year.
yeah, if I can have a big payday every year as I enter my 60s, right? And I still have a bunch of rental properties and the cash flow, and I can't stop buying stuff. So it's a good plan.
Yeah,
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Hey guys, thanks for watching that. Subscribe to our channel, watch this next, and then also check out the pinned content for more great content, guys. God bless.